Hi, everybody. How are you? Episode 21. 21 was a lucky number. It was the finale tonight. I didn't know that. So I'm really excited because the three-part tell-all is coming. I'm not sure why it needs to be three parts. But I did realize that there was some people on this season that I completely forgot about, right? I remember Kirsten was on the tell-all. And Jenny and Sumit are making an appearance on the tell-all, which I think is extremely important because they were wrongfully attacked by Kimberly. So yeah, I think that this tell-all is gonna be crazy. Oh, Kara just texted. She'll be here in a second. Dee Dee, are you here? Oh yeah, Dee Dee's here. Episode 21 just aired. I haven't watched the Family Show yet. I'm gonna watch it when we're done here. Dee Dee, I accepted you. So, hello, Carol.
Hi.
Hello, Judith. Hi. Hello, TJ. Hello, Pineapple. Hi, everybody. Kara's on her way. She just said she'll be here soon. So, 21 was the lucky number. Tonight was the finale. How do you feel about it?
Well, I think Karma bit some people in the butt tonight, and I was laughing. Danielle deserved everything Johan's ever done to her and did to her, and Kimberly as well. I think it's funny. She want to sit there and complain, but as soon as she landed in India, she started stirring the pot.
Yeah. I mean, I did feel, where's my phone? I did feel that Kimberly was working towards causing issues the second she got there. So when she said, she's like, oh, I'm alone, I feel depressed, I don't have anyone. I was like, well, you kind of set that up, like you set up the play for yourself. When you meet people for the first time, whether or not they're going to like you or not, it has a lot to do with how you treat them and your first impression. And her first impression was really terrible. And, I got to say this though, I'm not on Kimberly's side, but I don't know how I feel about sitting with other people that are not my family, and because they want her to eat with them and conversate and visit with them. Are you that type of person? Would you, if you were to get married, and would you be all in his family's face all the time? Because I'm not that type of person.
I wouldn't be in their face all the time, but I would be cordial because, whenever you marry someone, you marry the family per se. And
True, true.
And you have to, you don't have to bend over backwards and kiss their butt, but at least, be cordial, be respectful, be kind. And if you're invited, go. Just be respectful,
I mean, I think eating together and spending time together, that's birthdays, holidays, special occasions. I'm not a family person. I know this is gonna sound really bad, but if I lived in the same state as my family, I don't know how that would go. I need distance between them. But when Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, my birthday, I welcome people coming to visit and spending time with me, but I also drive them to the airport afterwards so I can have my peace. So I don't know, living with the in-laws and them being so close.
I
Again,
wouldn't
not Team
live
Kim.
with them now. I
Yeah,
wouldn't live in the same house with them, but I would be cordial, be respectful.
yeah.
That's my husband's family. So,
Well, right.
you
You should want them to like you. You should want them to get along. And I think that was the main issue because I was living together. I'm not Team Kimberly at all, but I definitely can understand the frustration of living with people that you don't necessarily have a lot in common with. You don't like them. They don't speak the same language because she was like, oh, well, I can't communicate with anyone here. I can't even go out. And I'm like, well, some of this stuff is your fault. And I think TJ touched on that. He was like, a lot of this depression is caused by you. He was like, the situation that you're in, it reminded me of the, hey, Pris Pricks. He reminded me of the saying, you made your bed, now you gotta lay in it, or you dug your pit and then you fell in it. That's exactly what she did. And then she's complaining about the situation that she created. And TJ was just like, well, you're depressed and you're alone because you made it impossible for my family to be cordial with you. And then instead of going down there and apologizing and making it right, she just hides up in that apartment and never leaves. And then TJ's going between.
from the time she got off the airplane, from the time she stepped into their home, she was disrespectful. TJ had this apartment built for her. He takes her upstairs. He is so excited to show her the apartment. And what does she do? She bitches about everything. Everything.
Yeah.
She was never grateful. She didn't appreciate nothing. And I mean, and then she's
So
hollering, how you gonna go in someone else's home and disrespect their home like that?
she said that she's depressed. Do we have any compassion for, because I know mental health is real. So like, do we have any compassion
Very
for her?
real, but no. I can't feel sorry for her because she made her own bed and now she's having to sleep in it. And Karma is laying right beside her.
I mean, yeah, the way that somebody said it, her toddler fits, the way that she reacts. It's kind of interesting to me that it took so long for TJ to throw in the towel, because you can tell from the way that he looks at her. Have you ever noticed the expression on his face when she's yelling and acting a fool? He's looking at her like there's something wrong with her half the time. And I was like,
Yeah.
why did it take TJ so long to say, you know what? Pack your shit and just go. Like at this point, like honestly, just go. Like if I really make you this upset, I make you this angry, you know, like I just can't. And it took him a while, but he finally was just like, look, it's over. And he's like, mommy, he told his mom, like, it's over. Like, I'm done with this girl. And I feel like it was the healthiest decision to be made, because I feel like the toxic relationship that they ran, and I don't really want to call TJ toxic. I want to take that back. I feel like TJ has his flaws, but Kimberly's the toxic one, right? I feel like she exasperates all of the issues in their relationship. Things are very small. Like, I feel like if they would have worked at things, they could have fixed it, but she always exasperated and made everything worse. And she never took any responsibility for anything. She wasn't ever trying to apologize. She wouldn't ever take the initiative to fix the situation with his family, because TJ said it. He's like, I have a job. I have to leave here every day. Like, so if you say you're alone, the reason why you're alone is because you refuse to fix what you did with my family. My family is open to fixing it with you, but you won't do it. And he was right. She won't put any effort into anything. Everyone is supposed to flock to her and make her happy. And I think that that's something about how she was raised, maybe. Like, in her mind, she can do whatever she wants. She never has to apologize. But if people want to be in her life, they have to come and apologize to her, even if she was the one that was wrong. And I just don't understand how she's functioned this long in society with that type of attitude, right? Like, I don't know how she's made it this long. I mean, we know that she's back in the US. We know that she's dating TJ's cousin, which I think is even more crazy. So I'm just...
It's nasty. I'm sorry, but that's just nasty. That is downright nasty.
I think that, you know, I was watching Basketball Wives, and there's an unwritten rule among the ladies on the show, and it's, if the girls dated a guy and they're in the same friend group, that guy is kind of off limits. I feel like it should go both ways. Like, she shouldn't be able to date his cousin. He should be off limits too, right?
Exactly.
Hey!
Sorry.
Why you late, girlfriend? You missing the party.
Accident.
Oh, work comes first. This is fun. Work comes first. We have to pay the bills, right? We have to pay the bills.
They're fine though. Thank God.
That's good. Okay, so we started out with Kimberly. We're talking about Kimberly and her temper tantrum on this episode, and it looks like TJ finally is like, you know what, I've had enough of you, and my family's had enough of you, because TJ's mom was like, let her go back to America and be happy in America. If she wants to be happy, she doesn't have to make everybody miserable here. But I was asking this question. Kimberly said that she was depressed. So do we have any compassion for Kimberly and her depression? No? So, because I know TJ made it clear. He was like, the reason why you're depressed is because of the situation you created.
Yes.
So he was holding her accountable, and Kimberly doesn't like to be held accountable for things.
Yes.
So she just started screaming like a rancid dog,
yeah.
Right? Like, she just started screaming like a complete animal. And I think that's when TJ looked at her and realized, this is not a relationship. This is like a situation of toxic proportion. And I think he's finally said, like, I can't deal with this person anymore.
Yes. I agree. I agree with TJ 100%. Get out. Go home.
It's
America.
I mean, he even looked different. He looked tonight night, like, he was so stressed out, like he hasn't slept or ate in days. That's how he looked tonight.
He looked very defeated.
It was a look of exhaustion that I saw. It was, well, between exhaustion and disgust. Because the ironic part was she was like, when she was yelling at him, "Don't call me crazy," she had the craziest look on her face when she was saying, because I was like, the irony is,
but
you look crazy.
Crazy. He said you're acting crazy.
Yeah.
You say you're acting crazy. That's not calling somebody crazy.
That's true.
He said he literally told her, like, you can't yell at me anymore, you know, and he's right. She should never have been yelling at him. But she said, I don't call you a titty baby, and then she named off like 7 other things that she's obviously called him in the past that he asked her not to do. Her temper tantrum, I'd have thrown her ass out the door.
I think
right there. Or I feel so sorry for TJ. He just looked completely defeated.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think in that moment, you know, when you have that hindsight moment and you realize you done messed up, you know, like, what is it? When you make a bad decision, like, I don't know if y'all ever been in a car accident, you thought you could make it, and then as you make the turn and you realize the car is going to hit you and you're like, shit, couldn't make that. Like, that was TJ. Like, TJ was like, I done messed up. Like, I have really messed up. I misjudged this whole situation, and now I don't know how I got here, but this is where I am. I have this person screaming at the top of her lungs at me like a rancid dog, and he's like, I don't know how I got here. That was the look on his face. Hey, Jamie.
That is such a good example. Now I will forever refer to Kim and TJ as a car wreck.
Well, I kind of feel like that is very fitting, right?
It is. Very.
It's literally, it was, and you have to be real with the car accident. It was an accident. Nobody went into the situation to end up in the situation, but good God, it was a really bad one. You slowed down when you saw it, right? Yeah. You slowed down as you drove. You were like, whoa, this one's bad.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
I'm sure that TJ is just, not only is he defeated, he's exhausted. He just put in all this time to this wedding. He put in all this time and money and effort and love into building this apartment, and all he got was like the freaking Tasmanian devil.
Right?
I feel so bad for him.
It is the definition of all work and no reward. He's the only one who compromised, and let Kimberly say it. He didn't do anything, but he compromised his whole life. He's moved this woman into his home, built her an apartment, like you said, literally compromised everything for her. He's going to work every day to keep paying on this apartment that she's complained about since the moment she got there. And he can't even get, hi, honey, welcome home. How was your day? The second he walks up there, she's starting shit with him. Like, every moment was just toxic fighting and anger and complaining. And it's interesting because she kept saying, we were so happy, and, you know, I don't know why we didn't. I'm like, show me the clip.
Yeah.
Show me the clips where y'all are happy, because I haven't seen it.
Show me where y'all were happy.
Right, show
me
the clips, please, because I was sleeping, I was drunk, I don't know. I didn't see any time where y'all got along to the point where I thought y'all should even be friends. But I was like, I didn't see any of it. Anytime y'all were together, there was an issue, and it didn't matter if her family was around or not. There was always an issue. And I think that he probably feels like the weight of the world off his shoulders. Ridding this woman from his life is going to give him the first night of sleep probably that he's had in a really long time. Like, because, you know, having a toxic person in your life is not just mentally draining, it's physically draining. They take all of your energy and joy from you. They drain you of everything positive. And I feel like you could see on his face, he hasn't known the last time that he was happy because he's been dealing with this woman for so long. And it only been like, what, a few months? Right, and that's how long it took for her to break this man. It literally took a few months for her to destroy his joy.
And this poor guy has literally had to sit here while we watched it for the last 11 months.
Seems like it.
21 episodes. Oh, and then to throw insult to injury, 3-part tell-all. So we have another 3 weeks to go.
Was that the finale?
Tonight was the finale, and now next week begins the 3-part tell-all. So we have another 3 weeks to go. But I saw in the preview, Jenny and Samik get a chance to confront Kimberly, which I am so here for. Because, you know,
her daughter is going to be there as well.
Who?
Yeah, I saw her. Jenny's daughter, Christina. She went to TikTok and Instagram, and she let her know. She was like, "Let me be real honest with you." She was like, "If you come from my mother, I will destroy you," and I cannot wait
I can't.
to see her have her moment with this
Yes.
woman. I was like, I cannot wait, because she thought she could say this stuff on the internet and she wasn't going to have to answer for what she said. Now she has to answer to them all. They're all going to be right there, and now you can
You
see.
know, if he's actually going to let them say exactly what they want to say. I don't think it's going to be as dramatic as they're. I mean, not dramatic, but I don't think we're going to see as much action as, because they're wanting to go after Kimberly. And from what I hear, TJ was throwing shade at them as well. So they're wanting to go after both of them.
Mhm.
But we know how TLC is. They're not going to let us see what we want to see. They're not going to let them go after them the way they want to. We already know that.
I don't know. I watched one of TJ's lives one time right after that, and he said he didn't say anything bad about them. He said, people keep asking me about Jenny and Cement. He says, I don't know them, so I can't say anything about them. That's what he said in the live I watched.
What did you see, Dee Dee?
Where whenever Christina had it on the on her TikTok, where Kimberly was talking about that stuff, and then it was like a little slide where TJ was saying how he didn't want to even meet Jenny and Cement. He didn't care nothing about them. That, he was like pretty much throwing shade at them as well.
Yeah, Kimberly said they're fake, blah blah blah. I mean, she came out, so I hope.
Oh yeah, Kimberly come after him. Yeah, but TJ was throwing a little bit of shade.
Okay, I mean, I just want to see everybody back up what they said. You know what I say? I always tell people, like, that energy that strong aggression that you have towards me on Instagram and Twitter, make sure you bring that aggression to me when you see me in person. Like,
I wish they'd bring me to the tell-all.
Well, yeah, nobody ever wants to call us. Nobody wants to call us.
I will say it all.
Me and Cara take Sean's job.
Absolutely.
I mean, they know we are a phone call and a plane ride away. Just say the word.
Y'all a plane ride away. I'm a car ride away.
I'm a plane ride away. Oh, so hold on. Off subject. Coco Puff said, did you see that Gino and Jasmine are married? Okay, so my answer to that is I know that they're married. I have not seen photos. I know that they're married because she's been here since March, and they had to get married 90 days within. Yep. So I know that they're married. I haven't seen any photos or anything of proof, because I have to go after them, because I explicitly told Jasmine, actually, that I wanted to be at the wedding, and she explicitly told me that she wanted me to be there. So when I do see proof of the wedding that I wasn't invited to, I will have some words for Jasmine and Gino. I'm just going to be honest, because I feel like that was kind of mean. Yeah. To not even, I mean, if it was filmed and it was like an NDA thing, fine. But like, if not, it's kind of mean. I would have loved to have been there. I feel like I would have enjoyed that wedding, right? So yeah, I haven't seen.
We could have been in the back corner. We could have been off the cameras.
I would have said.
Well, yeah.
I'd have just sent Gino a hat and Jasmine a plane ticket. I didn't need to go.
Oh, I had to be there.
I
had to be there.
I would have went. I would have went, but I didn't have to be.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh no, Tamara says I thought she was going home. Jasmine's not going to Panama. You know what? Jasmine's not going to Panama, just like Julia's not going. I go Russia. Julia ain't going. Remember, I go Russia. Anytime Brandon says something she didn't like, I go Russia. I go Russia. You know who else did that? Yara did it for a while too. It wasn't going nowhere. Yeah. Jasmine was not interested in no plane ticket back to any part of Panama. She just was trying to make sure Gino knew at any moment she could leave him. It's a power trip. It's a power thing. Just like, hey, don't piss me off.
I don't think it went well when Gino said, I agree, you should go home.
Well, yeah, she was like, well, don't go online and buy the ticket. That's not what I meant. I just wanted you to leave me alone. Yeah. Like, I wanted to end this fight. Okay, so Brandon and Mary's wedding was stopped by not stopped, they got married, but the reception was stopped by these bugs. And apparently these bugs could bite, Remember we were talking about this last week? We were wondering if they could bite. Apparently they do bite, and they were like attacking Mary and biting her all over her body. And Brandon's mom had a panic attack, and Twitter was like, oh, she's dramatic. And I was like, no, if I was being attacked by a humongous swarm of bugs that were biting me, I would also have a panic attack. Guys, don't tell people what they are doing and overreacting when you're not in that situation. I've been outside and just 2 or 3 bugs were close to me, and I swatted so hard that I accidentally smacked myself in the face. Like, that's how much I don't like bugs. So the fact that they were all over them, like, it gave me the heebie-jeebies just watching it. Like, I felt itchiness just watching it. I was
Even
terrified.
the crew was getting bit. That, you know, if the crew comes running from behind the camera.
Yes, it was bad, right? Like, I was like, this is really horrible. And if this isn't a sign, you know how people are like, give me a sign if I'm doing the right thing. This is a sign that you're not doing the right thing. That, and while swatting the bugs away, he swats his ring off his finger into the grass. Like, if this isn't like literally signs from heaven telling you all signs are pointing to annulment, I don't know what else it is. Like, this is literally the whole universe is telling you, you just made a horrible mistake and you need to fix this like now.
Yeah. But I do love the fact that he comforted his mom before he comforted Mary.
I saw that. I did. And Mary was like, hello. And I was like, you know what? I do like that he comforted his mom because, let's be real, he's known his mom longer.
Yeah.
Not much longer. But she gave him life. And I think it's important that he has that chain of command with your mom, and I think that's going to make him a good father when you know who's important. The queen is the mom, and then she's going to be your princess. So I think he gets the command of it.
He's the only one in his family that flew all the way over there for that. So that was important.
Yeah, she's growing on me. I used to not like her at all. His mom is growing on me. I feel like she's definitely she's making the right decisions now for Brandon. And I'm letting her slide on some stuff because at first, I was really hard on her. But I feel like she really is taking steps to be a good mom. And it's never too late to be a good mom, right? Like, it's never too late. Yeah, like murder hornets. Yeah, they were like murder hornets. It was scary. It was disgusting. And then they ate some of the cake that had the bugs on it. I can't with these people, right? Like, I can't eat the cake bugs. And he's like, oh, I don't even taste the bugs. I was like, well, bugs don't really have a taste. You're eating them still. They don't really have a taste. It's not like you're eating chicken. Like, you're not going to taste it, but you're still eating them, right? Like, geez, man, this is... Oh, so on the tell-all, we found out that after the baby was born, Brandon is still playing video games. Because he made this open promise to Mary that he was going to step up and he was going to help around the house. He was going to help with the baby and everything. And Mary was like, oh, yeah, this is good. And I was like, just because people say these things in a moment where you're supposed to say something nice, they just got married. That's a moment when you're supposed to say something nice. If you're going to give a good speech, that's when you're going to do it. So it doesn't surprise me at all that he's still playing video games. And then we saw in the preview that he said when she bothers him while playing video games, he does happen to call her a bitch every now and then.
Yeah, I'd call her a bitch every now and then too.
See, I have a problem with Brandon doing it only because, well, I was going to say because she's the mother of his child. We don't 100% know that yet, but if she is, I don't want him calling her that word. Like, when you become the mother of that child, you can't use that word anymore. I feel like the word is off limits, but she can be that word.
Yeah.
She can be. So I understand what you're saying. It is hard, but at the same time, if you got a baby that's screaming 12 hours a day, and then you got a husband that's playing video games 12 hours a day, I can get where you end up in that place, right? Because it's got to be really difficult, watching somebody just live their best life and play video games and not shower and do whatever the hell they want. And then you are dedicating your whole life to taking care of the baby. That I want to say both of you, maybe. We don't know that yet. We're going to know soon enough.
She can always call the baby daddy and ask for help.
Well, yeah, she can call Puddin' and tell Puddin' that she needs help and have him come over and help. I mean, who knows? That might actually be going on because that's her friends anyway, right? They might actually be around the house. So we're going to see we know that they have another baby. So we're going to see how this goes. Because in my opinion, I saw them as a couple that wasn't going to stay together when the show first aired. So I'm kind of surprised that they're still pushing out kids and still dealing with each other, because they're very toxic.
Yeah.
And she's wanting Brandon to get a job, and I kind of laughed out loud when she said that in her confessional. And I was like, so what gives you the impression that he's going to put the controller down and get a job? Like, people give you impressions, you know, of what they might or might not do, and him getting a job, that's not something that I see. Because first of all, if he gets a job there, he's not going to make a lot of money, so he's going to already be discouraged, because Americans are used to making way more than the people do in the Philippines. So when he goes out and gets a job and they're like, oh, we'll pay you like 85 cents an hour or 85 cents a day, he's automatically going to say that's not enough and turn it down, because he's used to American wages. And I'm not saying American wages are high, but it sounds a lot higher when you're offered.
If he would try at least to learn the basic words, he could make a lot of money, because he could be a translator over there. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Americans over there, or not. It doesn't even necessarily have to be Americans, like, you know, people that speak different languages. If he could learn at least the basics.
Yeah, you're right. He could get a job at a hotel, and he can check in people, you know, and help them speak. You're right. It takes a little bit of effort, just like with Kimberly. It takes a little bit of effort. She's like, I don't speak Hindu. And I'm like, I don't see you practicing. I didn't see you download Rosetta Stone. Like, I don't see you trying.
Yeah.
Can you imagine moving to a country where you don't know one single word of the dialects? Can you imagine who does this shit?
No way.
No. Because they can be that you be like, I'm fixing to kill you, and you're gonna be like, yeah.
That's what I was. That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, you could be in a room and they're like, let's get this person and cut out their kidney and sell it, and you're like, because you you have no idea what they're saying. You literally don't know. I can't even imagine. I'm nervous when I go to the airport and I'm talking to the ticket agent and they have an accent. I'm like, wait, do you understand me? Like, for real, for real? Like, am I getting on the right plane? Like, can you understand me? Like, for real, like, I'm nervous. So the idea of like people having whole conversations around me and I don't know what's going on, that scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I don't speak any Hindi. And I'm like, you should learn some. Yeah. Like, you don't know what people are saying about you, and based on your actions, it's not nice. Yeah. So you should basically learn some. You should know when people are calling you names. That's like I want to know that.
When these Americans go to other countries, just like Kimberly, and expect everyone else to speak English. Why do they have to know our language, but we don't have to know theirs when we go to a different country?
No, we're going to their country. They're not coming to our country. We're going to their country.
Yeah.
And wasn't she there like a year before that?
She was there a whole year.
Not
Did she not
even learn the basics? I mean,
that's the thing, though. She said, I mean, she was there for a whole year. How did she meet TJ? Did she not go outside?
That's true.
Why can't she go outside now?
I don't know.
She managed to meet somebody there.
That's true. You're right. And she spent a whole year there and said she liked it, which is also confusing to me, because now she hates it. And I'm like, well, what did you do last year different from now? Because you're in the same place with the same guy. Like, what changed? You know? Hey,
took off the all that she wanted to last year.
Well, I'm excited for this tell-all because Brandon and Mary are going to tell us how toxic they are. Oh, so I want to talk about Sarper and Shekinah, because we got to get into this Johan and Danielle and this cheating and stuff. This is very important. We need to touch on the Sarper and Shekinah situation, because I was very proud of Shekinah last week when she said, I'm going to get my stuff, I'm going to leave. I don't need anyone treating me this way. And then Sarper starts texting her and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm a good guy. And she invites him over to talk. And I'm like, see, now I've lost all of my compassion for her, because she keeps saying, oh, well, I always end up in toxic relationships. I always end up with bad guys. No, you seek them out. Yep. I was like, at this point, I've watched her behavior and I've analyzed her behavior, and it looks like she enjoys being mistreated. Yep. She doesn't know her worth, and she lets men mistreat her. And then when she gets a little ounce of courage to stand up to them, the second that they show a little bit of remorse, which isn't even remorse, it's just bullshit. Sarper is not sorry at all. No. Sarper isn't sorry at all. But she looked at it as, oh, well, he's sending me cute texts, and he did the hard. Oh, right. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Go back to California and be a goddamn mom.
Like, who does that?
I'm gonna start doing that every time I'm a dick to somebody.
Right, just go stand near them and just do this. And,
Yes.
and see if that doesn't violate the restraining order. Right? Like, come on now.
Talk about somebody on here, I'm gonna do that.
Like, I cannot with this. Oh, wait, she waited 2 days to contact him, the 2-day rule. She did say that. She said that she gave him 2 days. But I knew when she said, I'm packing my stuff and going to a hotel, that she wasn't going to leave.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in going to the hotel. You go to the airport. If you are done with someone, you have no reason to be in their country where they are, where they can contact you and find you and bother you.
No,
so I knew that she...
The next country, you make friends with his kid that he can't find, and you start dating him. Haha.
I like that. I like that. And then convince the kid not to talk to him. I like that. Are we evil?
And then you have a baby with the kid.
Oh, wait. So then he would be a grandfather. That's the even worse, to make him a grandfather. You're right. That's terrible. He already assumes...
A baby with the kid that he wanted so bad that you wouldn't have. Dude, bitch, man. See, paybacks are a bitch.
This is pretty bad. This is evil. Oh, so he said that if she left that apartment that night, he was going to delete her from Instagram. Did you catch that? And I was like, sir, you are 43 years old. Stop basing your relationship on Instagram.
That is so elementary, middle school, high school stuff. That's crazy.
I really dislike him as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I know that this is just the parts that they recorded on TV, but I feel like he's just a bad person. And he makes me so angry.
He's a complete dick.
Yes, he's a complete dick. He is, there's a show called F-Boy Island. If he was younger, he would be on that show. I watch it, by the way. It's good. But if he was there, because he's too old to be F-Boy. He's just like an F-grandpa at this point. But, like, I can't with this man. He's just so evil. But I wanted to be on Shekinah's side, but I'm like, at this point, whatever happens with Shekinah and Sarper, it's Shekinah's fault.
Yeah, she had it.
Like, she had the open invitation to go back to California and start mothering her daughter and focusing on herself and building her self-esteem, and that's not what she wanted. And it's funny because she's beautiful. I want to call her smart, but I'm not sure anymore. But she doesn't have to settle for what she's settling for. But until she convinces herself that, men like Sarper are always going to be constant in her life. This is exactly what she thinks she deserves.
Yeah. And
she keeps running back to them. Because I was like, you had every opportunity to leave. He talked to you crazy. You told him you were done. You packed your stuff. And then what did you do? You waited 2 days in his hometown so he could come back and be nasty to you again. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Of course you're sorry.
Yeah.
Every dick is sorry.
Well, maybe he's got her whipped, because that's all they talk about is sex. Sex this, sex that. They're so compatible. Sex is off the chain. Like, sex is this, sex here, sex there. Well, she went back because he's got her whipped. She knows she can't find that in the United States.
She can't find that in California? Like, I don't know.
I mean, like she probably could.
Yeah, I feel like she could.
She could. She probably has. But the way she is bragging about that, and like the sex life, it's like,
Let's not forget that her daughter, she was like 23 and her daughter's father was like 50 something. Yeah. Like, she might not even know what good is. Yeah. Right? Like, she might not be basing it on anything worth discussing. Like, she might think it's great.
Her sex life is anything like his stripper moves. That is so sad.
I feel bad. If that's true, I feel bad. A rhythmless stripper.
Yes.
I was like, a rhythmless stripper. How does that work?
You know what they say. If you watch how a man dances, that's how you see if they're good in bed or not.
Well, Sarper didn't have any dance moves at all.
It turns out
it kind of looked like he was convulsing, and I was worried at first. And then afterward, I was a little more worried because it looked like he couldn't breathe. Yeah. And I wanted to.
We were worried he was choking on his tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that was a full seizure is all that was.
Oh, gosh.
I was worried. I was like, is somebody going to make sure that there's a medic present just in case we lose Sarper, right? Like, just in case, because I don't know if he's okay. Like, I wasn't sure. And I was like, I can hate him, but I don't want nothing to happen to him, right? Like,
Yeah.
are we going to make sure that he makes it through the night? You know, I was like, I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Yep.
So, okay, so they're still together, whatever. We're going to talk about that next week and, you know, with the tell-all. So let's talk about this story we got from Danielle tonight. So we knew that Johan left last week. He tried to take the dog. She didn't let him. And she tried to keep his clothes. But then we found out this week, she's like, he can take his clothes. I'm done with this man. So this chick contacts Danielle on social media. And apparently, Johan has been dating her for 2 years, a month before they got married is when.
Yeah. This is so much bullshit. If he's dating someone else, she's not going to text her and say, are you guys divorced yet? Come on.
Well, that was interesting to me because she said, she knew he was married. She was sleeping with him. She even came to the apartment that they shared. But then she said, he's telling me that y'all are going to get divorced and he wants me to pay for it. I don't feel comfortable in this situation. I was like, so wait, you were totally comfortable sleeping with a married man for 2 years. You knew about her the whole time, but now you're not comfortable because he's asked you to help you pay for the divorce. Yeah. So the standards and morals kicked in now. And again, I'm not team Danielle, but even Danielle says, she's like, why would you call me and tell me this now?
Yeah.
After 2 years.
I need proof that this lady even exists, to be honest. How do we know? Because that English was too good.
Yep.
So how do we know that Danielle didn't put one of her friends up to doing that?
Yep.
It didn't
sound.
It didn't sound like it was a person from his country though, because she kept saying when I was there or when I was there. So I'm thinking this is
well, where's she from?
I'm assuming America, right?
It's too much. I mean, the English writing was too is.
Yep.
I think Danielle got one of her friends to say it.
Yep.
So you don't think he was cheating at all?
Nope.
I don't know. I kind of feel like he was.
Nope. Maybe not. I think maybe he could have been looking for sugar mamas to take care of him financially.
Yeah.
Because Danielle was not giving him money, and when he was working, but he was having to give her every dime that he made after she promised him everything. But as far as like physically cheating, I don't think so.
How else is he paying the $1,500 a month rent?
Well, I don't know, because
he only makes like $3 a month.
Well, right. That was another question. He was giving her a lot of money. He was giving her half of it. So I don't know. I feel like there's definitely sugar mamas because that's all Danielle was to him. So why wouldn't there be multiple? Like, I feel like Johan has always seen Danielle as a way to get things. At first it was the green card. And then when she denied the green card, then he wanted an SUV. He wanted her to buy him a house. He always looked at her as a way to get things. And I think we all know Danielle didn't have the money to give him that stuff. So I feel like that's where
she gave him false information. She shouldn't have promised him a life of luxury if she wasn't going to give it to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
fault.
I mean, this is hard for me because I don't think people should date people or marry people for what they can do. But I also feel like you shouldn't make promises to people either, because I don't feel like Johan was using her because she promised it. Like, she was like, well, if you marry me or you be with me, this is the type of life you could have. She was kind of using it as bait, like luring him into the relationship. And I feel like that's messed up.
You know what? I fell asleep to a show the other night and it rolled over into Paradise season 1. And I woke up and I suffered through it watching her and him just to hear the bullshit she said again. And she promised him everything. Remember their first time of having sex? She went in and lit all the candles, had sex with him, and then went in the bathroom and took a pregnancy test. Made him believe that that was possible right then and there. Because we had sex 12 seconds ago, I'm going to take a pregnancy test. The whole thing, seriously. Remember she did the sage and the candles and you put drops under your tongue and literally has sex and then goes and does a pregnancy test. Like, she has been misleading him from the jump.
So you think her pretending, if she could have pretended to be pregnant, she could have like bagged him or roped him, I guess is what you could say. Like, because he did say he wanted to have a child.
Mm-hmm.
So by her saying she was pregnant, because can she even have kids? Like, I don't want to be rude, but like,
I don't think so, because she went to the doctor and she only had like a half of a good egg and it was hard boiled.
right.
So,
and it would cost a lot of money to make that happen, you know, and unfortunately that's just science and nature.
Yeah.
But I hate that she did give him pretenses of things that sounded really, really good. Like,
yeah, we'll have a baby. We're gonna move to America. We're gonna, and then here we are. All I'm doing is bitching because you're not giving me money while we live in your country, and all we're ever going to talk. She said tonight, we always have great conversation when we don't talk about money. I seriously had to even rewind season 1 to see when she wasn't talking about how she paid for everything. That's all.
She's always talking about money. That is her favorite word. Money this, money that, money this, money that.
Don't ever give me anything if you're gonna hold it in my face and say I gave you this.
But if he married her because she promised him this life, he showed her right then and there. That's the only reason why he married her.
yeah, I think.
Where is that showing her that he married her because he wants to be with her?
Well, no, that's another thing. You're right. When she said we were always happy and we had so many good moments when we weren't talking about money, and I was like, she's delirious. Because I mean, obviously the cameras weren't always there, but I was like, show me the receipts. Show me any time where y'all were not fighting. And like you said, it was always about money. She was always saying how she has money and he doesn't. Yes. It was always the same argument. And I think I said before, I was like, I couldn't stay with somebody who's going to belittle me financially constantly. Because I was like, she went over there knowing that his skill level, unfortunately, in his country it's a lot lower than if he was in America. Like he could make in America, you don't really need any skills at all. If you want to make money, if you want to work and you can put in a lot of hours and you have transportation, it'll happen. But for what he can do, he's never going to be able to live up to the expectation that she wanted, but she wanted to belittle him at the same time. Every opportunity she had, she's like, well, how would you pay for that? Or how are you going to help me? And what do you, it was always belittling him for what he can't provide. And I was like, well, you went to the DR where most people are living on pennies, and then you're also belittling them for living on pennies. If you want a rich man, go find a rich man. There's plenty of apps and shit you can go on to find people who want to talk about how much money they have. Except right
now, even all the rich men, the poor men, all the men have seen Danielle on TV, and they're like, nope, swipe left, swipe left.
Well, especially now that we know about her financial issues. Because did you notice she was like, should I move back to the to America for a life I don't want? And I was like, you mean a life that's looking for you? I was like, they're looking for you. I was like, I don't even know if that's an option for you at this point. Because I was like, once you get here, there might be people at the airport waiting on you. Right. Like, I don't even know if that's an option at this moment. I was like, you might have to stay over there. Because she's like, I'm doing a retreat. I'm just going to stay at the hotel at the retreat. I was like, so you're basically homeless. Yeah. Is what you're saying. I was like, you don't have anywhere to go. You don't have a home. Your apartment is gone, and you're going to be staying at a hotel for the retreat. What's going to happen after that? Yeah.
She'll find
and it's has all this money. Why isn't she paying the apartment? Yep. Or if
she can't afford
that apartment, why can she be like moved to another apartment if she has all this money?
She couldn't afford that apartment without Johan's money. I think that was the whole issue with Johan.
And he makes a month.
This was Johan's issue because he was like, I'm giving you a life that you want here in my country, but you won't do anything to give me the life that I want. Because at first people were like, oh, he just wants money. And I was like, no, he wants an equal partnership in this. She gets to live in a really expensive apartment and live her best life. And then he gets to live the same life he's always lived, except he's paying half of her bills. It's not equal. Because at first I was like, oh, he just wants to be a kept man. But I was like, it's not really about being a kept man. He just wants to live his best life, and she gets to live her best life. She only gets to have to pay half the bill. She's making a lot more money because she's doing these sessions online, and she's making American wages. So she's making 3, 4, 5 times the amount of money he can make, but he's paying 50% of her bills. Like, if you want to get technical, she was using him.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people looked at it like, oh, he's using her. I don't know. I feel like she was using him.
Yeah,
Because she had money left over after paying half of her bills. He didn't.
But also, I think Dee Dee is spot on with her having her friend send that message, because did you notice she says, I've got messages from 5 or 6 different women that say blah, blah, blah. But we didn't see screenshots of that.
Yeah. And also, if she had been hearing from women all along, why was she still in the marriage?
Yep.
Because she said throughout the marriage, she's heard from all these different women. None of that bothered you until this one particular woman reached out. It's just a really fishy, weird situation for me. Like, I don't know how much of it I believe. Yeah. It's convenient because it happened right after he moved out. It's just really convenient for me.
The other woman knew that you were gone on a retreat the one time. Come on.
But yeah, I mean, he could have told her, but I mean, it is what it is.
No.
If
friend all the way. That's her friend.
But 2 years is a long time to have a whole girlfriend. And he's like sleeping with her. She's coming to visit. Like, I don't know how marriages work these days, but if you're married to someone, shouldn't you know where they are most of the time?
Yeah.
Like, how did he manage to spend so much time talking to her, sending pictures and videos and audio, and spending time with her in the DR? Where was Danielle at?
At home in the living room, teaching
right,
yoga?
Right. This is crazy for me. Like, I don't know how marriages work. I'm pretty sure
by the river, kicking a coconut in the living room.
Yes, that's what was.
I feel like I would have an inclination that somebody is having a 2-year relationship on me.
Yeah.
There would be signs, right? There would be signs.
Especially when I'm the one paying the phone bill and I'm the one that bought the phone.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if they're constantly...
Man always tells on himself.
Yep.
A man tells on himself.
Yep.
So freaking fast. It's like that they can't do anything without their... It's like they tell on themselves.
Yeah.
Down.
And Johan isn't, I'm not like in a rude way, but he's not like the sharpest tool in the shed. You know, like he's not like he hasn't written any like extremely intelligent literature lately. Like, I feel like if he was doing something, he's not the type as a master of covering up what he was doing. I feel like he would leave footprints of whatever. And I'm like, anybody, especially a woman would pick up on this stuff. Women are very, very perceptive. So 2 years that he's in a whole relationship, meaning he's calling her, texting her, seeing her. You never noticed one weird thing in the whole 2 years that you were going to look into? Because I know women will see a man. I think we saw it on The Last Resort. Kalani saw him looking at his phone strange, and she was like, nah, we breaking up. She was like, nah, we breaking up. She's like, he was looking at his phone weird and he was checking messages. He probably cheating. I don't even care if he was. We breaking up. Like, there's no way for 2 whole years she didn't think he was doing something weird. Yeah. Unless she was doing something weird too.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe she was doing something weird too. Remember her ex?
Maybe he met up with her when her ex was there and she was out on a date with him. Maybe he met up with his ex.
Oh, that's true. They were both on dates.
One down the river on the, what kind of was like a tiki boat or something?
Yeah. That would make sense. Oh, Chris Prick says he can dance. Oh, I get it. So, okay, I understand. You know, women want what they want.
The most disgusting thing that I guess I never paid attention to before, when I was rudely awakened by this show, she said when they were first having sex, she said she held her arm out from here to here, and she said, he's this big, I swear.
I remember. That's a traumatizing visual.
Well, if he was that big, how is she even walking?
Yep.
She would be in some sort of wheelchair with stitches, right? Like, I don't even feel like she would still be able to. She would have a handy.
I mean, come on.
She would have a handicap sticker.
That shit would have came right out the top of her head.
Well, right. She would have a handicap sticker on her car at this point. She wouldn't be able to walk anymore. Well, like, let's just be real.
She doesn't have a car. She doesn't have a car.
That's
rent them.
right. They were renting the car. You're right. There's no car. No handicap sticker for her.
Yeah.
They're renting a car. But yeah, I do remember that horrible realization or visualization that she gave us in season 1 that I've been trying to forget.
I was literally laying there trying to open-mindedly listen. You know, like how you go back and you watch something that you just watched last night, you rewatch it today so it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to do that open-minded, like, okay, I'm gonna act like I've never seen these people and see if there's any red flags thrown up from her. Because originally when it first came on, I was like, okay, she seems okay. Okay, he seems okay. Oh wait, she thinks she's a witch. She thinks crystals fix everything. She's okay. Anyway, then I formed my opinion. Well, watching it, it just reformed my opinion only stronger. I'm like, this bitch has been whacked from the get-go.
No, she has. She has. And I think what got me for her was when she went on her live and said that she never told him that she was going to bring him to the U.S. Because I was like, well, now you're questioning my intelligence because I watched the show. I saw you do it. Not only did you say it, you said it to his mom.
Yeah.
Like, so now you're like insulting my intelligence now.
She even said it to her friends that when they got married, she was going to file for the K-1 visa for him to go to America so he could be able to give his family a better life.
Yep.
Yeah. And then when her financial records got looked at by the immigration department and she was in debt by $300,000, the K-1 visa was no longer an option. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I can't prove it. This is all alleged. I can't prove any of that, but I'm pretty sure she sent her W-2s and her forms and everything, and they didn't approve it because of how much money she owed, because she would have to prove that she could take care of him until, I don't know, what, 5 or 10 years or something? Yeah. She couldn't prove that. And then the plans changed because she owed all these people money.
Yep. Yep. She's been lying from the get-go.
Well, we will watch this tell-all, all 3 weeks of it, and see. Wait, I know.
Tell-all's only an hour long.
I don't know.
Do we know?
That's a good question.
Because, I mean, that would be a bummer if they were, in a way. Because, I mean, if they're not, that's 6 more hours of this shit.
That that's a really good question. Is it 1 hour each week? Because we have only been getting 1 hour of the show each week. So you're on to something. I think that we're going to get 1 hour for the next 3 weeks.
But I also feel like it might only be, but it might be 2 hours just because the Family Chantel is episode 4 tonight, right?
Yeah.
4. So there's two more.
Yeah, there's only 2 more weeks of that, but 3 more weeks. So it's probably an hour,
2 hours. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. I mean, if it's a good tell-all, I don't complain.
Yeah.
If it's, I don't complain if it's a good tell-all. Give me good drama, good stuff. Like, if you're going to bore me, I'm going to be mad. Like, you could have made that all one night.
I feel like we've all worked for it, man. Give us something good.
Yeah, I feel like we earned it. 21 episodes. We have earned some drama. Did you see that Kirsten, what's his name, are back?
Who?
Kirsten and, what was his name? Julio.
Oh, really?
Julio.
Yeah.
You remember way back in the day, they were on this season? I forgot. When I saw them on the tell-all, I had literally forgot about them.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Because I was like, whoa, Julio and Kirsten are back. I was like, that's crazy to me because I feel like it's been so long since I saw them on the show. That's how long we've been watching. So wait, it's been 5 months. You're right, Kira. It's been 5 months.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, yeah, so it's probably been 3 months.
John Walters posted something today asking your favorite 90-day people from past or present. And it is amazing. I was trying to think of everybody. I'm like, I have very few favorites. And most of my favorites are singles now. Like Kimberly. I literally said Yara, not Jovi. Kelly. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, the only couples that came to mind was Jenny and Submit and David and Annie.
Oh.
That I like.
I do love Jenny and Submit and David and Annie. I like Molly, but you're right. Most of them,
Kelly.
they're not together anymore. You're right. I like Kelly too.
I like
Yeah,
Kelly.
this is interesting. We should do a poll and
Yeah.
find out who people, and maybe we shouldn't do couples. Maybe we should just do individuals.
Yeah, because I was trying. I mean, I know that I don't have a lot of favorites by any means, but the favorites that I do are singles.
That's interesting. Oh, I like Emily and Kobe.
I do too.
Emily and Kobe.
Yep.
But you're right. Oh, Kenny and Armando. And how do y'all feel about Bilal and China? I like them, but then I don't like them
But
on the
here's
pillow talk.
the thing.
I
You're
Down.
you're thinking recent. I'm trying to think of back, way back.
Oh,
I
like back in the day. Oh, Russ and Powell. I like Russ and Powell.
Okay.
What's Nicole and Azin? They're not together anymore, but I really like Nicole. Danielle Muhammad. Laura and Aladdin. That was some good. That was some good stuff. Wait, what?
They're not together.
Yeah, most of them weren't together. Now that I'm looking.
I mean, Russ and Powell, yes.
I think the only ones that are together is Russ and Powell, and Kiriam and her husband are together because she just had another baby. But I think those are
Rebecca and Ziad are still together.
yeah,
Oh
Rebecca
yeah, Rebecca and Ziad.
together. And there was another one. She's from Brazil. What's her name? They're together because she finally decided after they've been together for like 11 or 12 years. She finally decided to move to America. What is her name?
Oh, who is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, I like Darcy. Unpopular opinion. I like Darcy. She's old school. She's from like shit. She was on 90 Day like 6 years ago. Yeah, she's old school.
But you don't like Darcy as the couple. Like, see, I like Tom and Mariah.
Oh, I like Tom and Mariah. I like Tom and Mariah.
But it was a Darcy and Tom. It was a Darcy and Jesse. They're not together. So that's a single.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was really trying to think of 90-day couples. And I was just like, well, I like this person, but not who they left. And I like this person, but not who they left. And I like this person, but not who they left. I came up with very few couples. And the couples that I did are more recent. I mean, old school, Jenny and Submit and David and Annie, but they're still relevant.
Yeah. You know what? We should do something fun. Let's plan in the coming weeks. Let's do a 90-day trivia game.
Yeah.
And we're gonna come up with some questions, and we'll ask like a question. We'll say like something about this person, and then we have to guess who the person is. I feel like this will be fun because I feel like you're right. We are forgetting a lot of people from a lot of seasons. So I think we should come up with a fun question and answer. And we'll ask like questions like who this person was with, or what was this origin country of the person that they ended up with. Why did they break up? Like, for instance, I think Nicole and Azin broke up because Azin stole all the money that he said he was going to use for the store. It's like, let's come up with like a game, and we're going to have to get back on the train of knowing who everybody is, right? I feel like 10 seasons, 10 years is a long time, and we're forgetting a lot. So let's do a call sometime next week, and let's come up with the questions, and then like on some of the tell-all lives, we'll do like 10 minutes of the game with everybody, so we can try to, just
Who can forget Anfisa and George?
Oh my God, I love them. Can you guys believe that George did time in jail? Isn't that crazy? Like, this whole thing is crazy, right? And then Anfisa's on House of Villains right now, which I'm watching. She's really boring on it, though. Half the time I forget she's there. But if you're going to watch it, it's still good. Omarosa's on there. I like Omarosa. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do that in the future.
I'm down.
Yeah, let's do that in the future. Let's do like a fun, and maybe we can make it a regular thing. Like we can do like 90-day trivia, like at the end of the lives.
Yes.
Then everybody can get in on it, and then we can, we can also switch it up too. It doesn't have to be like who it is or whatever. We can switch it up and do different stuff, and we can like guess, like say their name and say what their original show was. Like, were they on 90 Day OG? Were they on The Other Way? Were they on like where they started? Like origin stories too. We can do that stuff too.
And
so yeah.
Also come up with who said something.
Oh,
In this one.
catchphrases.
Yeah,
I
he
absolutely
said,
love it. I absolutely love it. You're a user, Muhammad. I love the I freaking love the catchphrases. And then, and Darcy, you cut the steak on a bias. On a bias, right? Okay, yeah. So, we're gonna end this. This was The Other Way, the finale, believe it or not. 5 months of The Other Way. Next month, we're gonna, not next month, next week, we're gonna start watching the couples tear into each other and tell us what we wanted to see and hear all season. Oh, so tomorrow we'll be back. And wait, remember the Russian girl with Michael from Ohio? Yep, he is in jail. You are absolutely right. He is. He was actually from Cleveland. You're actually right. He's in jail right now. So yeah, we gotta do this. We have to do this. I feel like it's gonna be fun. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Family Chantel. I'll be somewhere in New Jersey, but I will be going live tomorrow night. I actually packed my tripod and stuff. So it's really gonna happen. So make sure you guys are here tomorrow for the that's exactly what it was. Pineapple. Yep, it was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Make sure you're following my co-hosts, Cara and Didi. They're tagging this video. Follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com. Anywhere you get your podcast, type in The George Mossey Show. Don't forget Friday, my new podcast series, The Medium Sessions with Julia Fisher on The George Mossey Show will be premiering. We're going to be talking to people from the afterlife and then discussing those sessions with you guys. So if you have any interest in that, that'll be starting this week. And then next week, every other week, we'll be back and we'll be talking with other people. And you can actually DM me. And if you want to do a session with Juliana and you want to talk to someone that has passed, that was in your life, we will be doing that as well. So make sure you DM me if you're interested in being a part of that podcast as well. Thanks for staying up late with us, guys. And we're going to talk to all of you guys tomorrow night for the Family Chantel because Scott's going to be throwing hands with Pedro. Yes, right? Scott's going to be throwing hands with Pedro. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. All right, guys, have a great night.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye.